make sure you subscribe. Make sure you give a thumbs up to this video and make sure you click those notifications. Today, I am going to talk about how I pack my motorcycle, my suitcase for an overnight stay. So let's begin. So I have everything laid out right now, so it'll make it that simple. And I'm going to kind of walk through every little thing that I take, why I take it, what's the purpose behind it. So first thing you're going to need is a duffel bag. Because we're only staying one night, that's all you need, just a little duffel bag. You're also going to need bungee cords. My bike does have saddlebags, so I can technically store something like this or even something smaller in one of my saddlebags, but I prefer not to. I like to kind of keep my saddlebags open for if I buy anything, souvenirs or anything extra that I end up bringing. So I use this and I attach the bag with bungee cords, and I will show you that a little bit later. The next thing that you're gonna want, other than this, is what your essentials are. Anytime you're riding a motorcycle, some of these things you should already have on your bike, always keep on your bike, just for safety purposes. The first thing is a first aid kit. This first aid kit I bought on Amazon. I can see if I can find you the link, but it has all your essentials, first aid kit. I have actually had to use this one time before while riding, so it comes in handy. The next thing you're always gonna want to have on your bike is a tire gauge. We do ride a lot, so I make sure I always have a tire gauge. Make sure those tires are perfect. Now that we got kind of the essentials, I do want to mention a gas tank. They're kind of hard to find. I believe you can buy them on Amazon. A little small gas tank that can fit in your saddlebag or on the back of your bike. That is a good thing to have. I've never had to use one. I believe my tank does very well with gas. And I do try to stop almost every hour if I can, rather to fill up, to take a break, to get something to snack on. So I really never had to use a gas tank, but if I were doing a really long distance ride or kind of not knowing where I'm going, just open road, I do recommend getting a gas tank just in case. The next thing you're going to want to make sure you have, and this is depending on the weather, and we're just so happen to be traveling during the fall, close to winter time frame, is you're going to want insulation. Being in the open wind, it's not like riding a car where you can have a light jacket and stay warm within your car. We're on bikes, so we're completely with the elements. So with that being said, I'm going to show you kind of the thermals that I use and some added layers that I also use. The first thing is a nice little thermal shirt. My husband did order these, but I do have another one. They're more, thinner, but they're thick on the inside. They work wonders, but these are thermals. They're long sleeves, and they work great for under your clothes. These are thermal pants. Again, these are a different type. Again, like I said, they're thin, but they're nice and warm in the inside. Get a nice little pants with a shirt. You can find these at, I believe, like Walmart or Academy Sports, any kind of sports center. These are really great thermals to have. You do want to layer up because if you're anything like me, I get cold very easily, so I try to keep warm, and if I get too hot, I can always remove layers. You can't have enough layers. The next thing is socks. I know this is crazy because you would think all socks are pretty much fine as long as they're covering your feet. I do tend to use the longer socks. I love wearing my ankle socks. I love them. However, on a road trip like this, I do wear longer socks to cover as much leg as I can. Again, this is because I'm fighting the elements outside, and the more I can cover, the better I'm going to feel. And these are nice and thick, fit perfectly and cozy in my biker boots. So So nice little socks. The next thing is a face neck cover. Got this on Amazon. It was, I believe, 12 bucks. You can get them pretty much anywhere, Walmart, Academy, sports store. It's nice, pretty, it's pink, but it has nice little fleece in the inside. I'm gonna show you another one that I got extra. I've been getting some nice free goodies. This is another one, a little bit thinner than my pink one, but again, it serves a purpose. I think this would be great, maybe more for this like summertime, but it might be a little windy, might be a little rainy, but again, it's still gonna cover you up, keeps you from sweating. And you can kind of see, if I can, show you the little bit of a difference. So you'll see this fleece, and this one's more stretchy and breathable. You can kind of see through it. So again, must-haves. So these I bought at Cycle Gear. Again, like I said, layers, layers, layers. So what I do is I put on some thermals, and then I'll wear my regular jeans as normal. And then I throw these suckers on top of my jeans. This keeps you nice and warm, keeps you dry, they're waterproof. And the nice thing about these is if you have a jacket, they can attach with a zipper with your jacket. So it can become a one piece without, you know, getting any of the wind in. I don't normally use the zipper because I don't like to feel that closed in, especially if I have to use the restroom. It's hard to have to unzip all this and do all that and just to try to use the bathroom. So as long as I don't have the zip, they're easy to remove and I can remove everything else. They do come with a nice little layer, and they also come with knee pads. And they're actually lightweight, so you're not worrying about being over heavy. They do look bulky on you, but they're not heavy. The next thing is, of course, your jacket. Most times, living here in Louisiana, you don't really need a jacket like this. It gets really hot and sweating and getting exhausted and dehydrated. So normally you don't have to wear one of these unless you're wearing it for safety precautions. But because we're riding during a little bit of a cold month, this is a must-have. It comes again with layers. You can remove this if you want, the little insulation part. Comes with shoulder pads, elbow pads, and back pad. Again, a must-have. I bought this online for about $40. They're inexpensive. Some can range up to $200. I try to go with the more cheaper version, and they still work. They're lasting, they're warm. So, jacket. So now, I'm gonna kind of show you other things that you're gonna need, or at least I like to bring along a road trip, because a road trip, you can't just go on a road trip and not take pictures, right? So, the next thing is cameras. Depending on what kind of pictures you like to take or what you're trying to do, having a good camera is essential. This is my Canon ProShot. I use this if I'm going on fun little trips or vacations. This isn't waterproof, so I don't take this out often, but this gives me good long distance photos. If I need to take long distance photos, this is a good one. The next camera is these knockoff GoPros. I do like GoPros, I just don't like the price, and I found that going on Amazon and looking for these little knockoff cameras do just as great, sometimes if not better, than a GoPro. So each of these, I believe, one was about $40 and I think the other one was like $50. I know they have cheaper versions, but I try to stay in like the 50 type range for quality purposes. If you can see, this one is a 4K camera. This one is not, but still takes great photos. The best part about this is the accessories you get with each of these. So each of these come with separate little accessories and attachments. Rather you're riding a motorcycle, it comes with attachments to attach to your helmet. It comes with a little case and makes them waterproof. I use these cameras on every single one of my vacations, whether I'm riding my bike or knowing I'm going on a long vacation and I know I'm about to go in the water and I want to take underwater pictures. These are good ones. And I will show you one of my 2 attachments that I have on my motorcycle where I put these cameras at. The next camera I do like to bring is my Kodak. This is actually pretty old. This has to be over 15 years old, but still works great. Again, it's a waterproof action camera. You don't need a case for this. This is 100% waterproof as is. But I love this thing. I take this still with me everywhere I go. So I might have 2 extra cameras plus this, and it allows not only my husband to take great pictures, but my children to take great pictures. But I have several cameras with different SIM cards in them. That way, if somebody else sees something that I don't see, they can take a picture of it. So it's great to have all these extra little cameras. And that leads to your SD cards or SIM cards. You're gonna want to go to like Walmart and pick up extra ones. What I do is I make sure, because these small little cameras like this, they require the small one. If you guys can see that, they require a smaller one that goes right here, sips kind of right in there. You're gonna want that. So in order to get this, you're gonna have to get one of these that is called the adapter. Again, you can get these all in one. They're about 16 bucks depending on your storage that you want. So what you do is you done with your camera, you stick this little bad boy in your adapter, and then you could put this on your laptop, your computer, or you can even put this back and use it on this camera, which takes this size of a SD card, and you can reuse and interchange them. I don't necessarily do that. I've ran into problems, a few trips where I ran out of memory really quick doing that back and forth and changing, because they are different brands. So I went ahead and just bought 3 extra SD cards for each of my cameras, and at least had one adapter for all of them. That way you could, because once you take this adapter out, you can add another little SIM card to this adapter and it will still work fine. But I try to get more than one of these, or more than one of these as a combo. And my little carrying case, can't forget the carrying case. So yes, extra one of these. That leads to chargers, any kind of charger you need for your cameras and cords. This goes to my big, my Canon camera, and this goes to my small little cameras here. And the cool thing is you are allowed to charge 2 batteries at once on here, but only one here. But they don't take that much. You just need a little cord and a little block or a thing to plug in, and you're good to go. But you want these because your camera is going to run out of batteries. The next thing I want to share is this little bad boy right here. You can get this at Cycle Gear, at Harley Davidson. This is a lifesaver, and I'm going to show you later what this is used for. But to sum it all down, there is a piece on the back of most bikes that is a port that you can charge things. But in order to use it, you're going to need an adapter. So if you're going to plug in your phone or plug in like a camera while riding, you're going to need one of these adapters to do so. And again, I'm going to show you how to do that. All right. So packing, all you need, especially because I'm only doing an overnight trip, you're just going to need your bare essentials: toiletries, any kind of medication like ibuprofen, maybe pain medicine, or your prescribed medication. I do carry hand sanitizer wipes with an addition to hand sanitizer as well. And of course, you know, the original travel toothpaste, toothbrush, soaps, shampoos, all go in this little fancy dancy travel kit. You can get that on Walmart. So I'm going to kind of show you how I pack. I'm not going to show you all of everything I pack because it's just basic stuff. So I do grab some large and I do have some small Ziploc bags. The reason why I do that, I'm going to show you in a minute. So I'm going to take a Ziploc bag and I'm going to put all of our undergarments and extra socks in one Ziploc bag. The reason why we do this is because if it rains, and knowing that my suitcase is on the outside, again, on the elements, because I'm going to store it outside, and I'm going to again show you how to do that. I know this is going to get wet, and this isn't waterproof, but I don't like being wet, and I don't mind if my pants get wet or anything like that, but I don't do wet underwear and I don't do wet socks. So the best way to do that is put those things in a Ziploc bag, remove all the air, and store it just like that in your backpack. The next thing I'm going to pack is any clothing, my pants and the shirt that I'm going to wear out back home for the next day. Normally, a size like this bag can hold 2 people's clothing, so you don't have to go out and buy 2 separate bags, especially like for my husband and I, we only use 1 bag. So either he's going to store this on his back of his motorcycle, or I'm going to do it on mine. Either one, it doesn't matter. Then I store my toiletries, and then the next Ziploc bag, depending on what you want to bring, it could be small or large. This is where I stick all of my accessories, again, because I don't want to get them wet. Anything that's electronic, all my cords. This cord goes to my head comm. Let's put my SD card in here, like such. And my cameras, I'm not going to put them in there because I have a waterproof spot for them, so they don't need to go in there. I'll store this camera in here. I do recommend getting an extra battery pack for anything that you want to charge. I have it always charging and ready to go for like a phone, camera, whatever. So I do bring that, and I stick that as well in there. So any cords, cameras that are not waterproof, I normally store it in here. Again, I remove the air, and we're good to go. Now, for demonstration purposes, let's say this has all of our clothes that we already have. That's it. We're ready to go. Now let's go show you how we put this on my bike. Guys, now we're out here with my motorcycle, and I want to walk you through kind of everything that I'm about to do and what I already have on my bike that I keep on my bike always. That way I can make it a little bit simple. As you can see, I brought my first aid kit out here because it normally is already in my bike, but I brought it out just for this video. And I bought this little, I think it was like $5, $3 at Five Below. This little bag I keep always on my bike. And this is what I store in my little travel kit. I always have an extra file and keys on my bike. My insurance and registration for my bike is always in here. Hand sanitizer, mosquito spray, the tire gauge that I was telling you guys about, and some other feminine little products, which I don't think I necessarily need to show anybody. Nice and tucked in my saddlebag. And I put my first aid kit in. If I can get it in here the way I want it. Okay. And you can see in here, I do have different varieties of gloves. Always bring my little hobo knitted hat. I always have a helmet lock. Again, various of gloves to keep me warm, and some bandanas, of course. So all that goes on one side of my saddlebag. Shoot that. Now, that leads to the suitcase and how I tie it down to the passenger side of my bike. So I grabbed bungee cords, and I believe these are going to be too long for it. So I will probably have to run back to the store and get a little bit shorter length. And I'm gonna go ahead and walk you through that process here. Okay. For just demonstration purposes only, I am going to use these long ones because I don't have any short bungee cords on hand right now. But how I do this is I'm going to find a spot on my bike that I can attach the bungee cord and know that it's not going to come off. So normally it's going to be around my passenger seat, backrest, like such, and I know it's not going to go nowhere. Now I'm going to take it and wrap it around my back seat, all the way around, and attach it here. Again, like I said, these are too long because if no, I would have already had to just attach it on the other side. Again, my bag will be a little bit fuller, so it'll be even easier to do. And then I take this one, and I normally go from side to side, again finding a spot to hook within my bike, and I try to make sure it doesn't hit any of my paint or it's going to rub on my paint. So that's it. That is basic way of tying down your luggage to your motorcycle. Now if you have a travel luggage rack right here, same rules apply to how to attach it. There's some that if you get motorcycle actual luggage, some of them already come with attachments to secure that luggage down on your bike. However, I don't have that. I just have my trusty dusty passenger seat and backrest, and it's easy to remove and easy to grab. And sometimes a good rule of thumb is tightening this up as tight as you can. This right here, like this, and just wrapping it as well for that added security where it's not going to be moving around. And that's pretty much it as far as it comes to tying down your bike. My cameras and how I attached them. My one attachment is not ready yet. It took me forever to find it, but I will show you, and I'm going to show you kind of where it is attached, but I'm going to show you this one real quick. So I attached this one camera, and you can see my camera's already in there. It's in the waterproof case like I told you, and this waterproof case can come off and on if I want, and I do have two of these. So the second one's going to go up top, and I'm going to show you the placement of that. And what I did, because the company that I got this particular camera at did not have, it did not fit all the way around my highway bars. And you can see, yes, I was able to screw this in, but I had to buy another screw to kind of tighten it. And then what I did over on this side is went ahead and took zip tie to tie the rest to keep it secure. And I have basically went all over the place from Tennessee, Texas, Florida with this on, and I have not had one single issue, not one problem. It's easy to reach to turn it on and off. So I like this placement of my camera, and I'm going to show you the second one. I bought, or add-on I bought, was from Rick Rack, and I believe I got this on Amazon. And I'm going to kind of show you how this kind of works. I'm not going to install it right now because it is going to take a little bit of time, and that probably is another video. But let me kind of open this up and kind of show you what it looks like. Okay, as promised. So it was hard to do that outside, holding my camera and trying to show you this product. So this is really cool. It goes on your fairing on your bike, and it comes with all the attachments you need, plus the wrench that you're going to need to install it. So it comes with different types of screws you're going to need, and normally the middle to the smallest one is all you're going to need, plus the washer. And you're going to attach it to the left side of your fairing, the very last screw. And you can see right here that this end right here will attach on the other end. So one will attach to your bike, the other one will attach to this. Nice and tight. The cool thing is this is the 360 rotation. As you can see, it will rotate any direction you want. It's as of right now, I haven't installed it, so I can't give you a review on it. But again, you can see this top, this is where you're gonna mount the actual plastic waterproof case. And then you would put your camera in there, hit play or record when you're ready to record. And now you have two different kind of settings, two different kind of angles on your camera. And if you want a third, you can add that to like a helmet, even the rear of your bike. There's different products out there that you can do that. But again, this is from Rick Rack. It's pretty sturdy. It's pretty durable. I know it's stainless steel, but I still have to hook that up to my bike. So some must-haves. So I'm hoping this helps as far as packing. I hope this kind of runs down what I do or how I pack for a one-day trip. Longer trips is a different story. I can always walk you through on another video. But for an overnight stay, you don't need to pack a lot, just your essentials, your overnight, maybe pajamas, some comfy shoes, so you can get out your biker boots, and that's it. Basic stuff. You don't need to bring the kitchen sink with you on a one-day trip, but each their own. I'm hoping you like this video. Again, make sure you subscribe if you're new. Hit that like button, hit that notification button so you can see all of my videos. I try to make as many videos as I can. It's kind of hectic. 2020 has not been in everybody's favor, so it's kind of hard to get videos out there as much as I can, but I try to get them out. Again, leave comments below if you have any other ideas, better ideas, any tips or tricks. I am so into your guys' opinions and your comments, because if you can better me and if I can better you, that's what YouTube is all about. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time.